Hello. So I'm going to do a run through for you of my 3-slot classic Northern Electric payphone. It's a Model 233H, I think. And this particular phone's from the 1970s, early 70s. This design originated from the Gray pay telephone company from way back when. Northern and Western Electric actually licensed the design at one point in time or another. And it did evolve with time. But those of you old enough to remember these will remember they're pretty classic. And they were the most basic of type of pay telephone. So we're going to get on how you make a call with this thing. Calls could have happened in a couple of ways. But more often than not, you're going to pick the telephone up. And you would need to put in at least 10 cents in order to get it to break dial tone. Some phones, when you pick them up, the operator may come on and ask you to deposit money. How the operator knew how much money you paid is very, very cool. We're going to go into this phone later, and I'll show you the parts. But when you put money in, you notice nothing happens to the first nickel. I've got to do 2. And there's a little bing. It's a little easier to hear on the 25 cent. Each coin, did you hear that? Tink! Each coin actually has its own little, like, gong inside of the phone. The big gong is for 25 cents. You hear that? So, the operator would have to sit there and count those noises in order to determine how much money you put into the phone. They actually sat there with timers and would break in and tell you, if you want to continue the call to keep pumping the money in. So as you can tell, this is a very manual sort of system. Essentially, what would happen is the person would come by and open the vault, and the coins would be in the vault. Now, in the case of this phone, the coin boxes can sometimes be hard to find for these 3 slots, and we don't know why. But mine does not have one. I don't really need it. So this is the earlier style of payphone, and underneath the phone is this thing. That's called the network. And that's actually where the ringer is and all of that stuff. So yeah, this phone actually does ring. Okay, well, this is the network and ringer. It's basically the bottom of like a 500 set, like one of those, classic rotary dial phones. The network is this stuff here, and the ringer is obviously the one with the bells. So really, all this thing does is the line connects up, and this basically takes all the signals and things and puts them where they need to go. That's where the ringer connects here. And then this stuff actually connects up here to the backboard. And you can see these tabs here. These tabs coincide with some fingers that are on the front. So the front piece has the rotary dial and also has the coin release mechanism. So you can see these little fingers here. Those connect the front to the back and allow all the signals to go through. There are more signals than you'd think, because you see what happens here is the operator can do a couple of things with this phone. The first thing is this. When you dial your phone, I should put that in there for now because I do not want to smack myself in the nuts with another coin, as I did in a video you don't get to see. Okay, so you've made your phone call, and the last thing the operator is going to do is going to send a voltage. That just triggers the coin relay and dumps coins in the box. The other option is there's a voltage that will trigger this, which is connected to the push button, and that allows the coins to drop into the coin return. Now that we've done that, I've got a 25 cent piece, and you can you can't really see it, but you can hear it. That gong is on the right there. if you listen carefully, the coin just sort of hits right there. And this curved little piece is another one of those dingers. If you notice, there are a couple of things here with the brown wire connected to them. Those are microphones. There's a microphone inside of here. You can just barely see it. It's cream colored. And there's one there. So they're actually tied in with the transmitter of the phone. And they allow the operator to better hear what's going on. And that's kind of cool. Just makes it more clear. But again, the real problem with this old set, as beautiful as they were, is they were mechanically complex. They've got this 3-slot mechanism, and they've got all these bells and whatever. They also require a live person on the other end to actually, do things like coin control. And, taking the coins out of escrow and either dropping them in the return or putting them in the vault. Things like that. The operator also had to sit there basically with a stopwatch and, break into your call when it was time to add more money. Yeah, that works, but it was very labor intensive. So this here is the Northern Telecom Centurion. It's electronic, and we'll get into that in a different video.